Hi, I see people on YouTube a lot of times reacting to haters, feeding the trolls, giving them stuff to just more fuel to bitch about. And I was watching Scrooge version of A Christmas Carol with Patrick Stewart. It doesn't matter who's playing what, but the one I happened to watch the other day was that, and caught something in the middle of it. It's a scene where the second Ghost of Christmas Present is bringing Scrooge around. He takes Scrooge to the a Christmas party being thrown, or dinner, or whatever, being thrown by his nephew, and his nephew Fred. All right, Fred, Scrooge's nephew Fred, is telling the people at his dinner party that he always invites his Uncle Scrooge. Where is he? Let's see. He's a comical old fellow. So now I'm reading from the original text of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. He's a comical old fellow, said Scrooge's nephew. That's the truth, and not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him. So they talk some other stuff, and Fred's wife says, I have no patience with him. And all the other sisters and the other ladies express the same opinion. Apparently they all know Scrooge. Oh, I have, said Scrooge's nephew. I am sorry for him. I couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers by his ill whims? Himself, always. Here he takes it into his head to dislike us, and he won't come and dine with us. What's the consequence? He don't lose much of a dinner, so he's ragging on the ladies for not making a very good dinner, but the ladies are all saying, indeed, I think he loses a very good dinner. Blah, blah, blah. I was only going to say, said Scrooge's nephew, that the consequence of his taking a dislike to us and not making merry with us is, as I think, that he loses some pleasant moments which could do him no harm. I'm sure he loses pleasanter companions than he could find in his own thoughts, either in his mouldy old office or his dusty chambers. I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not, for I pity him. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but he can't help thinking better of it. I defy him. If he finds me going there in good temper, year after year, and saying, Uncle Scrooge, how are you? If it only puts him in the vein to leave his poor clerk £50, that's something, and I think I shook him yesterday. All right, so the point of this is not that you should go invite your haters to dinner, but think of what he's saying here. He's saying what Scrooge does, keeping to himself, being nasty to people, it's to his own detriment. And it's the same. Haters don't recognize that they're doing this to themselves, but if you think about it, when they're hating on people, they are losing pleasanter companions than they can find in their own thoughts, and they are stuck in their moldy old office or their dusty chambers or wherever they're at. They're not. It's their loss. You should always read their bullshit, get to the end of it, and say, your loss. You know, you don't want to be friendly to me, it's your loss. And don't dwell on it, don't say, you son of a bitch. Just let them fly away and think, wish it would be nice if we could get along, but since you're not having it, oh well, see you later. And it's if you think about it being their loss, it will help you. It'll minimize the damage they do to you. I mean, I see Melinda. I do it. I'm guilty of it myself sometimes. I see some other people on YouTube who they make these excellent videos. They're make videos about like nature and their pets and talking about things and having discussions, and then haters just attack them and screw with them, and they get so wrapped up in it they stop doing the other stuff. Melinda does this all the time. You stop doing creative videos or discussion videos, and you start just reacting to the shit. You're feeding the trolls again. And if you think of it like think of how if you imagine yourself a good person, and you imagine the pleasant times you have with other people who are like you, and then imagine these haters that go around shitting in their food everywhere, shitting on their relationships, shitting on people everywhere. Do they have any friends? Are they I don't know. But it's more, if you have pity toward them more. I'm not saying be nice to them or treat them like Uncle Scrooge. Part of the backstory is that Fred knows that his mom, who was Scrooge's sister, used to love Scrooge, and they used to get along nicely. He knows his mom was nice, so he thinks there must be something nice to Scrooge. I'm not saying invite him to dinner every year and be nice to him all the time. I'm just saying, it's sad that they got all that hate, and leave them to it. Don't feed back onto it. Don't give them what they're looking for, and it'll put your mind at ease if you can think. It's just, you're a sad, sad little man or woman, anyway. But you can never tell because it's the internet. All right. I don't know if that helps for you, but I thought it was pretty nice. His offenses carry their own punishment, and I have nothing to say against him. Their offenses carry their own punishment. And it's kind of like Ann Coulter. I always talk to people about the Ann Coulter effect. Ann Coulter says just mind-numbingly stupid stuff, but there's no need for any reasonable person to really defend against her claims or react against them, because the things she says are so obviously mean and stupid that reasonable people will be more put off the more they listen to her. And there's no reason to get for a person to react or get wrapped up in it. Just let her be. And I see this a lot of times with trolls and haters on the internet. They're just going off and are angry and talking stupid, and at first you just want to react to line by line of what they're saying. But if you just stand back and go, letting people read your comments works more against you than anything I could say to refute what you're saying. Your offenses carry their own punishment. Merry internets for all.